What stupid rule did your parents make that backfired spectacularly? My parents installed a tracking app on my phone that alerted them every time I left a safe zone and gave me exactly 7 minutes to explain via video call or they'd contact the police. They thought they were keeping their 16-year-old daughter safe. Instead, they created the perfect conditions for me to disappear completely and taught me every skill I needed to vanish from their lives forever. The rule started after I got home 15 minutes late from school because I'd stopped to pet a dog. Mom went nuclear, convinced I'd been kidnapped, murdered, or worse, talking to boys. Dad backed her up with technology. They installed Life 360, Find My Phone, and some military-grade tracking app Dad's paranoid friend recommended. My phone became a digital ankle monitor. The safe zones were home, school, the direct route between them, and church. That's it. Anywhere else triggered alerts. 7 minutes to video call and prove I was safe and explain why I deviated. After 7 minutes, they'd call police. They actually did it once when I went into a different bathroom at school. 3 cops showed up to find me having period cramps. So I got creative. I learned about GPS spoofing, VPNs, and burner phones. I started leaving my tracked phone in friends' lockers while I lived actual life. I developed an entire network of accomplices who'd carry my phone on approved routes while I went to debate club, art class, or just sat in parks reading. My parents thought their surveillance was working perfectly. My phone showed perfect attendance, straight routes, 0 deviations. Meanwhile, I was becoming an expert in deception, technology, and covert operations. The CIA could have recruited me at 17. The spectacular backfire came senior year. I'd been accepted to Columbia University with a full scholarship. My parents didn't know because I'd had all correspondence sent to my friend Maya's house. They'd forbidden me from applying to schools more than 50 miles away. For safety, they said, so we can track you. I'd saved money from a job they didn't know I had, working at a bookstore my phone never visited. I'd gotten a new phone, new bank account, new email, entire parallel identity they knew nothing about. The tracking had taught me to be invisible while appearing completely visible. Graduation day, I gave the valedictorian speech my parents had approved. Then I gave the real one I'd prepared. My parents taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. I said into the microphone, that love without trust is just possession. That safety without freedom is just prison. Today, I'm choosing freedom. I walked off stage, handed my tracked phone to my mother, and got into Maya's car. My bags were already packed, my train ticket purchased, my new life waiting. My parents couldn't follow me because they'd never learned to actually know me. They'd only learned to track a device. They called the police, but I was 18, not missing, just done. I'd left them a letter explaining that their surveillance had taught me to lie, to hide, to create elaborate deceptions. That instead of keeping me safe, they taught me that love came with conditions and coordinates. You tracked everywhere I went, but never asked where I wanted to go, I wrote. You monitored my location, but never my dreams. You knew my GPS coordinates every second, but didn't know I was depressed, that I was being bullied, that I'd won a national writing contest, that I'd fallen in love with poetry. You chose tracking over trusting, and now you have neither. I didn't speak to them for 2 years. When I finally called, Mom cried and said they'd removed all tracking apps from my younger brother's phone the day after I left. We lost you by holding too tight, she said. You lost me by never holding me at all, I replied, just holding my location. We're rebuilding now, slowly. I visit twice a year, but I never stay long. The moment they ask too many questions about my schedule, I feel that familiar need to lie, to hide, to have backup plans. They broke something in me with their surveillance, the ability to be honest with them. My brother thanks me sometimes, says my escape saved him from the same digital prison. He's 17 now, goes where he wants, tells them the truth because they actually listen instead of just tracking. They learned, he says. Too late for you, but they learned. The irony is, I work in cybersecurity now, teaching companies about privacy, about the dangers of surveillance, about how tracking creates blindness to what really matters. My bio says I learned from the best. Parents who watched me so closely they never saw me at all. Last week, Mom asked if I'd ever install Life 360 again, just so we know you're safe. Mom, I said, you knowing where I am never kept me safe. It just kept me secret. She didn't push. She's learned that the tighter you grip, the more slips through your fingers, especially daughters who learn to disappear in plain sight.